gentlemen, you are looking live at Unbranded Brewing Company. It is time for CCW Presents Bash at the Brew 19. Blake Chadwick alongside Dan Evans. Dan, an action-packed card tonight. 4 championships to be decided. And of course, the big one, Ariel, Levy, Cha-Cha Charlie, Hialeah street fight. It's all coming down here tonight.
Bash of the Brew number 18 led into this one. Cha-Cha Charlie, Ariel, Levy. That one's going to be off the hook.
Indeed. Speaking of off the hook, Dan, the CCW Cruiserweight title will be on the line. Alan S2S Martinez defends against the returning Vidal. Fresh off of a big run on the west coast of the United States. He will be here in action. Of course, we know Jessi Elaban looking to dethrone KiLynn King as the CCW Women's Champion. All of that plus much, much more. The action is fast and furious. We're ready to get started. Let's head to the ring. It's Lacey Almeida to kick off Bash at the Brew 19.
Eliminations will take place by throwing your opponent over the top rope, and when we have reached 3 remaining opponents, it will turn into a triple threat match. The winner must pin or submit for an opportunity at an upcoming CCW World Title Match. Introducing the competitors, the Bus Mid-English, the Wrangler, Nick Turner, the Dragon Reborn, Ricky Fisher, being accompanied by NVIDIA, Ozzy Kilmeister,
So Dan, as the competitors are starting to fill the ring, what an opportunity to kick off Bash at the Brew 19, the Go for the Gold Battle Royal. Once all the competitors have been eliminated and we're down to 3, it will become a triple threat match where the winner gets a future shot at the CCW Heavyweight Championship. What an opportunity in front of these 10 men.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite matches in Coastal Championship Wrestling. The Go for the Gold Battle Royal has been a launching pad for so many individuals. And I see any one of these men capable of winning gold in the future.
Several competitors in this bout coming in with a semblance of momentum. You want to talk about the Bus Big English, Ozzy Kilmeister, and of course Ricky Martinez. All coming into this bout, moving in the right direction. But Dan, a couple of these competitors here with an excellent opportunity to really put themselves on the map, including the man jaw-jacking right now, the newcomer Ricky Fisher.
Ricky Fisher, I don't know too much about him. I know he's from Panama. I heard he's one of the top stars in Panama. We'll see if he matches up with the CCW talent that's in that ring.
As the bell officially sounds, we are underway. Great way to set the pace here tonight. And the crowd chanting 305, that can only be for one man, Dan, Ricky Martinez.
Certainly one of the most popular men, but Chris Farrow leaping on the back of the bus. The bus just swatting him off like a flea.
Elliot Qrow giving it a shot, and he's tossed aside as the bus, certainly the largest man in this bout, Dan, by a very large margin.
Nick Turner, for some reason, is trying his luck. What failed for 2 men, failed for Turner as well. Makes a big deal throw out of the corner by the bus.
The bus manhandling some of the participants here, showing off that power and strength. As Ozzy Kilmeister, who's turned over a bit of a new leaf in recent weeks, looking to maybe form some partnership here with the bus and Ricky Martinez. But now Ricky Fisher trying to go right after the biggest man in the match.
It looks like the bus really has this one well in control.
And Fisher trying to build some momentum here against the big bus.
bus is like a brick wall. Drop kick by Elliot. Qrow does nothing.
And Elliot Qrow.
Rico De La Vega's looking for his up. Rico De La Vega might be the smartest man in the ring.
The crafty veteran Rico De La Vega. The most experienced man in this match, Dan, and it certainly shows.
Look at the power of the bus.
And remember,
the crowd loves it.
Though the competitors have gone to the outside, they did not go over the top rope with both feet hitting the arena floor, so there have been no eliminations thus far.
Not as of yet. Chris Farrow staring across at the bus. The bus with about a 200-pound weight advantage.
As once again, Dan, we're looking at 4 championships tonight on the line. Tornado tag for the CCW Tag Team titles, elevated status, putting them on the line against one of the fastest rising tag teams in CCW, the somewhat makeshift duo of Meadow and Lakay.
Yeah, it was a makeshift match last time here at the Unbranded Brewing Company and ended up in a disqualification. Nobody had an advantage bringing it back this time in a tornado tag team match. And we'll see what happens with that one. I think Meadow and Lakay have every chance of capturing gold tonight.
As we're mentioning size differential here, Chris Farrow certainly on the short end of the stick against the Bus Big English. And the Bus looking to manhandle Farrow, but Chris Farrow with a bit of an underhanded tactic. And now the Bus being pulled out of the ring right in front of us here, Dan. He goes under the bottom rope, so no elimination.
Wow. Wait, here's the problem with all this. They finally got the Bus off his feet, but they got to get him back. Oh, Ozzy Kilmeister!
As it looks like it's time to mosh, Dan. Here in Hialeah. As Kilmeister trying to coax Mr. 954 to the outside.
Oh! Codebreaker off the second rope for Martinez. The problem I see right now, Blake, is they got to get the Bus back in the ring and then throw him over the top rope to eliminate him.
As Rico De La Vega now trying to take advantage of this opportunity. And he's going to drive Martinez face first right into his shin. But Nick Turner, the Wrangler, goes for that roundhouse, and he connects with Rico.
Oh, Elliot Qrow!
And Dan, look at the extension by Elliot Qrow, then a Saito suplex, dumping the Wrangler to the outside.
And a headbutt by Kilmeister. This is the strangest battle royal I've ever seen, Blake. Fisher with a knee driven into the Kilmeister.
Fisher quickly taking advantage, but Farrow, there's a slice of bread.
I'm not getting the strategy, Blake.
Everyone laid out here. And what's hanging in the balance here, Dan, an opportunity at Ariel, Levy, or perhaps Cha-Cha Charlie, and the richest prize in CCW.
Chris Farrow on his feet. Now everyone's seeming to get to their feet. The Bus still on the outside. Nobody's been eliminated as of yet.
Farrow turns around, and all he sees is 6 bodies staring right back at him. Farrow gonna hit the deck here. And now 6 men in the ring paired off. Ricky Martinez, Rico De La Vega, Ricky Fisher, Elliot Qrow, and Nick Turner and Ozzy Kilmeister.
All 6 of them really going at it.
The Bus still recovering on the outside. But wait a minute, keep your eyes on Chris Farrow.
Nobody in the pool, certainly mistimed and misplaced. Chris Farrow had an idea. Horrible execution, though.
There's a reason it's called high risk, Dan. As right now, Kilmeister trying to take advantage of Turner as the Bus attempting to get back inside the ring. No man has really been able to gain a true advantage in this bout thus far.
Wait a minute, what the heck is going on here?
Wait a minute, the Bus, he's going to high risk territory, Dan. He can't do this. The Bus can't come off the top.
Wow.
And the flying V right off the top. I guess the Bus went Jetsons mode on us, Dan.
I guess so. He must have visited Doc Brown in the future.
Took a trip in the DeLorean, now he's looking to win that title. That's what he looks to see in his future. As he sends Chris Farrow for a ride. Farrow ducks underneath, tries to go high risk one more time. And look at the bus just brush him right off.
Yeah, the bus so powerful. Farrow just doesn't have the body weight. Take him down, and Farrow's now been eliminated. Qrow from behind, clubbing the bus. The bus though goozles him. Say goodbye to Elliot Qrow.
And Elliot Qrow is gone.
Vega now trying his luck.
So the bus starting to thin this ring out a bit here. Rico De La Vega comes right back at the bus. The bus, look at the raw power and strength. De La Vega hanging on for dear life. And De La Vega's gone.
Rico De La Vega has been eliminated.
And it looks like we're down to our final four here. The big bus, oh! There goes Turner and Kilmeister. Wait a minute, Ricky Fisher. Dan, I didn't see him still remaining.
I did, and I see Ricky Martinez as well.
I thought it was Martinez, Bus, Wrangler, and Kilmeister, but Ricky Fisher inserting himself.
Referee Andy Seeley now in the ring. One.
Turner and Ozzy Kilmeister have been
And remember, Dan, we're down to 3, so pinfall's now in effect.
Correct, it's now pinfall or submission.
As Ricky Fisher looking to steal one from Ricky Martinez. What an upset this would be for Ricky Fisher.
Martinez with a boot to the top of the head. The bus in the far corner still nursing that injury.
And Martinez
Fisher
tries to build some momentum out of the corner here. Fisher fails to sit down on it. Martinez is going to step through, turns him over, and now looks to break his back and make him humble. Now, oh, he's going to flip him inside out. Shoulders are down, 2, and Fisher hangs on.
innovative pinning combination by Martinez. Oh, but he walks right into him. And now Martinez returns the favor.
And Ricky Martinez and Ricky Fisher, they're going back and forth, Dan, right here in the center of the ring. The Bus Big English, the third man still remaining here. And keep your eyes on Mr. 305 El Pitbull Sicario. He's perked on that middle turnbuckle.
Double team move, but who's going to go for the pinfall? It's every man for himself at this point.
That Martinez bus decapitation, if you will. As Ricky Martinez and the Bus Big English working in unison here.
Martinez is over the top. Shades of their six-man tag team match. Last month here at Bash of the Brew, they're working together.
There's certainly some chemistry between these two. As Martinez on the shoulders of the Bus and drops down, fails for the cover, but Bus is going to capitalize. 2, 3.
Here is your winner, and the recipient of a future CCW World Title Match, the Bus Big English.
So the Bus Big English, you can call it a mild upset, but he gets by nearly 10 other competitors. And now the date has been set. It's the Bus Big English receiving a championship shot sometime here in the month of August. Whether it's going to be next Friday in Kissimmee, or possibly next Saturday in Homestead, or maybe even 2 weeks from tonight in the CCW Arena for Kumite. With the Bus Big English set to receive a championship match coming up very soon here in CCW. Win for the Bus Big English, gets by several other competitors, and once again earns a title shot coming up sometime here in the next few weeks in CCW with either Ariel Levy or Cha-Cha Charlie, depending on the result of tonight's Hialeah street fight for the CCW Heavyweight Championship. We've talked about 4 titles on the line tonight. The first of 4 championships to be decided. Coming up next, the team of Meadow and Lakay takes on Johnny Nova and ERA. Elevated status, it's tag team title action, tornado style. It's all coming down, and it's next here at Bash of the Brew 19.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is a tornado tag team match for the CCW Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 475 pounds, the team
And once again, our first championship bout of the night. And the tag team titles are on the line. It will be Tornado Rules, as Meadow and Lakay, we talked about at the top, coming together as somewhat of a makeshift tag team, but we've certainly seen the cohesion in recent weeks, and now they put themselves in position to earn the shot here tonight, right on the cusp of victory against Elevated Status.
Should be very interesting to see what happens here. Two double tough individuals. They certainly have the size and strength advantage over Elevated Status. Elevated Status, of course, gets a nod when it comes to experience. Speaking of experience, referee Bruce Owens in the ring.
Entering his 5th decade in the professional wrestling world. And looking ready to go here tonight. So here they come, Dan. 3 months ago tonight, they shocked the entire wrestling world when they upended the South American Alliance and became the brand new tag team champions. And all summer long, it's been a summer of Elevated Status as they reign supreme all up and down the coast of Florida.
Yeah, they've done very well in all their title defenses. Got a firm grasp of those tag team straps, but they got a lot of work ahead of them in the coming months. First, they got to get past Lakay and Meadow tonight. And they also have a shot at Kumite on August 20th at the CCW Training Facility against Cha-Cha Charlie and Jackal Stevens. So, Elevated Status, they got a lot of work cut out for them.
And that could be a proverbial all-star type atmosphere. Jackal Stevens could be the Southeastern champion. Cha-Cha Charlie could once again be the heavyweight champion. You throw the tag team titles in the mix. But here we go, Dan. We're up and running. Tornado Rules in effect.
Meadow just grabbing ERA, tossing him into the corner. What power and strength. ERA, though, out of the way there.
I think the last two guys I would want to get a knockdown, drag-out fight with here is Meadow and Lakay.
Well, Elevated Status put on the brakes, and they turned around to get a couple of shots from Meadow and Lakay.
As ERA by himself right now with Meadow and Lakay. As once again, Dan, we talked about them working very well in unison. Look at this double team. And Johnny Nova right in front of us. And ERA's gonna land right in his lap.
Again, the power and strength of Lakay and Meadow on display. Nova saving his partner from some more punishment and more danger and possible injury, as he caught him pretty well coming down on that double press slam.
Meadow and Lakay coming from opposite sides now, circling their prey. As we know, Lakay, he's always ready to eat.
Nova wisely getting back into the ring.
Oh, and look at Meadow trap Nova inside that ring apron. As Elevated Status squarely behind the 8-ball in the first couple of minutes here.
Well, they really are. The challengers really seem to have things well in control. Nova back in the ring, ERA struggling to get to his feet on the outside. He may have an injury here. It looks like he's favoring that elbow or shoulder.
Elbow forearm area of ERA could be compromised. And Dan, we could be talking about right now a big-time opening for the challengers to circle the drain and possibly secure those championships. As Meadow once again looking in the best shape of his career. As these two sense, they certainly sense the moment and how large it can be.
I think they need to be going a little bit more aggressive here in my estimation. ERA grabbing Meadow, tripping him up on the outside, driving him into that corner. Now Johnny Nova goes to the eyes. Oh! He caught Lakay square in the face with that boot.
And Dan, over the last several months, you've really seen the attitude of Johnny Nova do a big 180, as he certainly picked up a lot more confidence ever since joining up with ERA.
Yeah, he certainly has. That is the influence of ERA coming through on Johnny Nova.
The double team's in effect here as Johnny Nova gets a near fall. And you can really see the tag team cohesion increase with each and every match between Elevated Status.
Wow, look at Lakay grabbing ERA by the throat, now Nova.
The double goozle here. Lakay grabbing both of the champions. As
Champions.
Nova trying to take advantage, and ERA connects right in the jaw.
Like they're really showing their experience as a tag team. Beautiful double team maneuver. Nova dropping down in front of him. ERA just took his head off. Oh no! Meadow on the outside, riveted to those stairs.
As Johnny Nova just gets rid of Meadow here, and now a perfect 2-on-1 opportunity. As you see ERA, almost Anderson-like, targeting the body part of Lakay, and now putting a big-time target on those ankles of the big man from Haiti.
Elevated Status now, all alone in the ring with Lakay. Lakay, though, firing back.
Lakay, it's 1-on-2 here, Dan. I don't know how much Lakay is going to be able to overcome these odds. And Lakay
Seems to be handling himself just fine right now. He's got Elevated Status. Oh, ERA out of the way. I spoke too soon.
Briefly, no partner, no problem for Lakay. But now Elevated Status found an opening. And now Johnny Nova plants Lakay right in the center of the ring. There's an opportunity for the win. And ERA only gets 2, but again, Dan, tornado tag rules, no need to make that official tag.
Meadow back into the fray.
As all 4 men are in here, and once again, that is completely legal.
Right here in the near corner with Nova, Meadow with ERA in the far corner. They have something in mind here. We could be seeing a double superplex.
You have Meadow and ERA on the near side. Johnny Nova and Lakay on the far side. Nova slips out, ERA slips out. Both Lakay and Meadow's faces connect with that top turnbuckle.
And their fans just showing their disapproval. ERA buries a boot in the chest of Meadow. Nova the same with Lakay.
And it looks like ERA calling for some sort of double team here. Oh, and Nova and ERA both connect with the boots of Lakay and Meadow respectively.
Well, they both made a pair of boots and they're both down in the corner now.
And Dan, that certainly was the opening that the challengers were looking for.
They need to dig down real deep right now. They got the champions on the ropes. They need to finish them off.
And Lakay and Meadow here starting to kick it into another gear, Dan.
Meadow and Lakay really in sync. Body slams on both of Elevated Status. Now the challengers are in control. They need to put them away while they can, Blake.
It looks like it might be time to eat.
A pair of leaping elbows connect. But they need to go for the cover, Blake. I don't understand why they're wasting time.
And it's certainly time to eat. And on this occasion, Dan, it's going to be double meat. Here we go. Meadow on the near side, Lakay on the far side. Nova and ERA collide. And they're both put in position. Stereo power bombs. This could do it, Dan. Here we go. There's a cover. We got new champions. 2.
Almost.
And somehow, Elevated Status hangs on. How are Nova and ERA able to kick out of that?
I have no idea. They certainly have proved themselves that they got guts and they got determination. It's not going to be easy to rip the belts from around the waist of Elevated Status. Meadow and Lakay now looking to put him away.
As Dan, they have to be sensing victory here, right on the cusp of putting Elevated Status's title reign on extinction. Wait a minute, there's a roll-up. Wait, Bruce Owens is down.
Owens is down.
Meadow has the cover. Nova has the cover over here. We need another official. Was that 3?
The bell sounds. The referee counted to 3. I don't even know.
What happened?
Well, Nova had Lakay pinned. Nova had Lakay pinned. ERA had Meadow.
We're still waiting on the official word here. Bruce Owens. Wait, why is he? What is this? Why is he raising the hands of Elevated Status? You saw Johnny Nova covering Lakay. Meadow had ERA right next to Bruce Owens. How can Bruce Owens see anything but ERA's shoulders down? Lakay wants 5 more minutes. How's it gonna end like this?
I mean, Owens, he just counted 3. He doesn't even know who he counted it on. Meanwhile,
what do you want, champ? What? 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes. One of the best brawls I've ever had in my life. You're on. Let's go.
As looks like ERA doesn't want 5 more seconds.
No. Not tonight, baby. Elevated Status walks away with the gold.
I guess Elevated Status is going to leave on the proverbial high note.
not a satisfying ending to this match by any stretch of the imagination. Elevated Status remain the tag team champions, but somewhat of a miscarriage of justice.
Certainly by hook or by crook, ERA and Nova found their way. Still tag team champions at the conclusion here. But from my vantage point, Dan, Meadow had ERA's shoulders down for the 1-2-3.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I think the fans are saying it all.
They certainly are. It looks like Meadow's got something to say here.
Hialeah! That's bullshit! You do not get your ass in the ring and let's finish it right now!
Meadow certainly...
5 more minutes! 5 more minutes! Let's go!
Meadow certainly hasn't had enough. Lakay wants dessert.
Now, Elevated Status is nowhere to be found, and this one's gonna have to wait for another day.
So once again, certainly some tough sledding there for the tag team challengers in that title bout there. Meadow and Lakay will have to go back to the drawing board. Hopefully for them, they can get another title opportunity sometime in the very near future. We know coming up later tonight, Jessi Elaban has an opportunity in KiLynn King for the CCW Women's Championship. But a top contenders match coming up next, Dan. Mila Moore, recently debuting in CCW, has had a couple of incredible showings. She's taking on a former CCW Women's Champion in the form of Roma, and that is coming up next.
Attention wrestling fans, the place to be each and every Tuesday is on the Coastal Championship Wrestling YouTube channel, where a new episode of CCW Alive Wrestling drops at 7 p.m. Witness the hard-hitting, high-flying action that is synonymous with the longest-running independent wrestling promotion in the Southeastern United States. Subscribe today and don't you dare miss it.
Boca Stone Design, from fabrication to installation of natural stone and quartz. Sick of seeing the same old kitchen? Revamp with us. Call us today or check us out online at bocastonedesign.com. Hey CCW fans, Minutes to the Bell Time is your one-stop shop for pro wrestling news and information. Stay up to date with the daily wrestling news show, the Body Slam Brigade newsletter, and check out our social media for daily updates. Find out more by following Minutes to the Bell Time on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
As here comes Mila Moore, recently debuting in CCW. We've seen her take on Jessi Elaban here in Hialeah. She has an excellent opportunity in front of her tonight as she takes on a former CCW Women's Champion in the form of Roma. Dan, Mila Moore, the sky's the limit for her in CCW.
It certainly is. See if she has what it takes to take out the former champ. Certainly has a height advantage. She looks in fantastic shape as always.
From Santiago, Chile, former CCW Women's Champion, Roma.
So here she comes, Dan. One of the most popular females in CCW history. And a former CCW Women's Champion, Roma, back in the fold here. And she's not looking to go home anytime soon.
Certainly is. She loves the fans. Hugs for everyone.
Certainly a part of that Chilean contingent here at CCW. But I think there's no argument she's certainly the most popular now, especially when you see the attitudes in recent months of Alan Martinez and, of course, Ariel Levy.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, ever since Ariel Levy won that championship belt, tons and tons of Chilean wrestlers have been chomping at the bit to get over here. Levy, one of the biggest stars in the Chilean wrestling scene, until he came over here to CCW years ago.
So bell sounds, we're underway here. Top contenders bout for the CCW Women's Championship. Mila Moore one-on-one with Roma. Referee Amy Veronica assigned to this contest. And Mila Moore, who initially cut her teeth on the national stage, Dan, making a name for herself, and now looking to prove her worth here in CCW. She's off to a wonderful start.
She is. That's quite the attitude she's got right now. Last time we saw her here.
And this is an interesting situation here for Mila Moore, normally coming in as the big star, the focus, the spotlight, but Roma has been competing much longer than her and certainly with a lot more success inside that squared circle.
She has. Nice hip block takeover.
And now Roma having her way with Mila Moore in the early going. Fisherman suplex dance. She holds that bridge. Even was able to interlock those fingers, but only able to get two.
Surprising the attitude of Mila Moore right out of the gate, grabbing the hair of Roma. Certainly showing a different side, maybe a different strategy, and how she's going to approach things in the ring here in CCW.
Oh! As Roma was looking to take flight, and Mila Moore shuts that right down.
She caught her square with that forearm right to the face.
And Moore
again with a handful of hair.
Now once again showing off that aggression, Dan. And when Mila Moore first came to CCW, she was a little more happy-go-lucky. You saw her on the losing end of things to Jessi Elaban. And now we see a little bit of a 180 here. She wants to taste some championship gold.
That just might be the reason.
There's more with the cover.
1, 2.
And that won't be enough, but Mila Moore in control here in the opening few minutes. once again, it's not illegal until that 5-second mark, so utilizing all of it within those rules.
Well, Blake, it is illegal. That's 5 seconds to break.
Fair enough.
Mila Moore should be taking advantage of every second she's got. Now driving that boot right into the throat of Roma.
And once again, utilizing all of that clock is Mila Moore. And looking more like a polished veteran inside the ring tonight.
Roma face first into that buckle.
As Moore would certainly love to take on the winner of tonight's CCW Women's Championship match, whether it's another crack at Jessi Elaban or, of course, the mother effing king, KiLynn King, who's right in the middle of her reign, about 4 months in, and she's not looking to slow down anytime soon.
She got a Cobra clutch applied now.
As Roma tries to work herself back to a vertical base here, and that right arm is free. But Mila Moore spins her right out and takes her down with the clothesline, too. And Roma trying to feed off of this crowd in Hialeah.
Moore driving that forearm across the chest with Roma, and again.
And look at Mila Moore digging deep. And look at the rotation there, and the whiplash on the neck of Roma. And it's nearly enough, but not quite.
Clutching the back of that neck. She's in bad shape right now. Moore, as aggressive as I have ever seen her here in Coastal Championship Wrestling. Nice block by Roma, though. Returns the blow. Another forearm to the chest by Roma. Clothesline puts her down.
And Roma's starting to pick up a little bit of steam here. And Roma, that butterfly suplex, Dan, that could be enough.
Nicely executed, goes for the cover.
Here we go.
1, 2.
And a little bit of a nonchalant cover, and that might have cost her the victory.
Well, she had the majority of her weight across the midsection. Oh, come on!
As Mila Moore throwing a bit of a hissy fit here at the announce table. But Roma following in pursuit. And now we're back inside the squared circle. Roma trying to hook her here. And Mila Moore's going to turn around inside cradle. She's got the tights, and that's going to be enough.
Tights.
But if you notice, Dan, referee Amy Veronica out of position, did not see the tights being grabbed. Mila Moore took full advantage and comes away with the victory.
She did. You can't really fault Amy Veronica on that one. She was looking square at the shoulders, which is where she should have been. But Mila Moore just slipping that hand in and got a handful of tights. And that was enough to score the victory.
So Mila Moore back on track here in CCW, picking up a big win over the former champion Roma, shaking up the rankings in the CCW Women's Division.
She is. That's certainly got to put her up there in contention. A win over the former champion has got to catapult her up. And as you said earlier on, she could be looking for a shot at either Jessi Elaban or KiLynn King, whoever wins that match tonight.
We will find out who the champion will be when we leave here tonight in Hialeah. But folks, coming up next is our second championship bout, the second ever CCW Cruiserweight champion Alan S2S Martinez puts his title on the line against one of the fastest rising cruiserweights in the entire country. He's back at CCW. It's Jay Vidal, and he gets his shot coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the CCW Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing first, the challenger, weighing in at 180 pounds, from Miami, Florida, J.A.I.J. Vidal.
And here comes the challenger, one of the signature students over the last 4 or 5 years out of the camp of the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, Jay Vidal, returning to South Florida and returning to CCW here tonight, as he's been tearing it up in the Midwest, on the West Coast, and now looking to complete the trifecta here on the east side of the country.
Yeah, he's really made a name for himself all across the country since leaving South Florida about a year and a half ago. Jay Vidal has really shocked the wrestling world. Am I correct in the fact that he's been in Sports Illustrated as one to watch?
He is certainly one to watch. He is also your current reigning PCW Ultra Light Heavyweight Champion, arguably the top promotion on the entire West Coast, and he's the king of the cruiserweights over there, looking to knock off and dethrone S2S here tonight. Jay Vidal, arguably, with some of the most momentum out of anyone in the professional wrestling industry in the United States.
And of course, Vidal, a former CCW Tag Team Champion as well. So he's no stranger to the CCW ring and CCW gold. Let's see if he has what it takes to dethrone the champ.
And his opponent, weighing in at 180 pounds, from Valparaiso, Chile, he is the CCW Cruiserweight Champion, S2S Martinez.
And Dan, listen to those boos. The crowd really has become fed up with this attitude change of S2S.
Yeah, they really have. Martinez, formerly a very loved competitor here, was one of the fans' favorites. The day he won that title and gave that low blow to the former champion, Chris Farrow, he has been on the ban list, so to speak.
He has been successful. He has proved his worth. We've seen him against the likes of Fuego del Sol in high-level matches, one of the top matches in 2022 here in CCW. But overall, S2S, this towel around his neck, from what I understand, he's recently joined a country club. I don't know what's gotten into S2S.
Can't take anything away from his ability, though, Blake.
He certainly can back it up inside the ring, but arguably his toughest challenger to date here in the form of Jay Vidal. And we have said that before, Dan, and he has been successful, but the buck very well could stop here tonight.
Bell has sounded. This championship match is underway.
Referee Adrian Paz assigned to this one.
Paz checking for weapons, but he already called for the bell.
As Jay Vidal having some fun here. But it's all fun and games until the bell rings, Dan. Normally you have to subscribe to his OnlyFans page for that type of content. And the fans of Hialeah certainly excited to see Jay Vidal back in the CCW ring tonight. Taking a look at tonight's card, Dan, here on paper, arguably the most evenly contested bout on the card.
Yeah, they match up very well. Now, a bit of a height advantage, but not by much.
Vidal going to bring Martinez in tight, trying to control that arm of S2S. As Vidal going to float over to a pinning combination, there's a crucifix. Vidal nearly taking a page out of the Ariel Levy playbook right there. And Vidal trying to stay one step ahead of S2S, and we are at a standoff with the dueling drop kicks here.
Well, certainly tick for tack, Blake. Both men outstanding technical wrestlers.
Either man able to gain an advantage in the opening minute.
Now extending the left hand. Martinez gives him a right hand right to the face.
Quickly disrespecting Vidal.
Martinez on his horse.
Oh! And S2S connects right in the side of the head. As Vidal now trying to get right back into this bout. As it's going to be very difficult, Dan, for either man to truly gain an advantage here.
Now that wristing, throwing it down on Martinez. Martinez with a nice leapfrog.
And Vidal with the double stomp right to the back.
He had that move well scouted.
Nice way to adjust in midair by Jay Vidal. As Vidal just ripping into S2S.
Martinez turning around and missed the chop. Vidal connects.
As Vidal now gonna build that steam. And I think he wants to show S2S who daddy is.
Well, that's all fine and good, but I think he's making a mistake.
And there's the low bridge as S2S hits the floor now right out in front of us here. And Jay Vidal, he's gonna hit the ropes. Keep your eyes on the challenger. Tope suicide to the outside. As S2S right in front of us, here comes Vidal again! And the second time's a charm, Dan!
Where Martinez threw him back in the ring. And Vidal went right back to the ropes and right out. Connected with a pair of suicide dives. Martinez now back in the center of the ring.
Vidal celebrating with all the fans in Hialeah, but it's time to get back to business. Oh, and S2S! Looking to find that opening, and here's a roll through. The shoulders are down. And once again, Dan, that's something you have not seen out of S2S several months back, but that attitude change has also affected his in-ring style.
Well, it's certainly become one of his go-to moves. Martinez now in the corner, driving elbows into the side of Vidal's head. And a running forearm nails him.
As the tide has quickly turned right back towards the Cruiserweight champion. As S2S, the split leg moonsault. 1, 2, and Vidal able to hang on.
Martinez back to his feet. Vidal now trying to get back to his. I think he was looking for that reverse go to sleep.
Oh, look at Vidal with the Matrix. Taking a page out of the Ana Diaz playbook. As Jay Vidal trying to stay a step ahead. And as he's coming off the top, Martinez connects with the drop kick to the midsection. And what a counter move by S2S, and nearly comes away with the win.
Perfect timing, well executed. Not enough to score the pinfall. But Martinez now with the advantage.
And S2S looking to put Vidal in position for possibly that Meteora. And look at the momentum. Sends Vidal all the way over the top, down to the arena floor, Dan. He nearly crashed 10 feet to the ground. S2S. He wants that count-out win by hook or by crook, any way, shape, or form necessary.
I think he's up to an 8 count now, Blake.
Adrian Paz, if he gets to 10, that's it. And Vidal, out of desperation, finds his way back in, but on the receiving end of a leg drop. 2, right to the back of the head, and that nearly does it.
Vidal's head just bounced off at his feet, bounced off on that leg drop.
So
I'm sorry, Blake, making a mistake in my estimation. He's wasting time with these slaps in the face and the head. He's only raising the ire of Vidal. You don't want to mess with a guy like Vidal.
And Dan, literally on cue, you can see Vidal pick up the pace. The roundhouse to the side of the head, down goes S2S. The champion is down, the challenger is down. The Cruiserweight Championship hanging in the balance here at Batch of the Brew 19. Both men trying to work their way back to their feet. Adrian Paz checking in. It looks like both men will continue at this juncture.
Now Kip's up back to his feet.
And Vidal with an explosion of offense here. S2S. Oh, as you see Vidal put on the brakes. S2S finds his way to the apron. Risky position here for the champ. Oh! And Vidal with a little bit of a payback right there.
I guess turnabout is fair play, Blake.
And Vidal.
Oh, man.
That shotgun kick out of the corner. This could do it. New champion.
2.
And a 2.5.
Oh, they're giving the ref a hard time here.
As this crowd thought that was enough. But Jay Vidal, he's looking to close the door here. As Vidal, oh, Martinez jackknife cover, 2.
Who caught him right in the face.
And S2S, that standing C4, this could do it, 2. And somehow Vidal hangs on.
Unbelievable. Martinez calling for the go to sleep, that reverse go to sleep. He's looking for it.
And Martinez, he might have Vidal right where he wants him here.
Oh, he nailed him with it.
And it might be time for Vidal to go to sleep, but Dan,
Vidal could have landed in a better spot.
The momentum sends him to the floor right in front of us here. Now Martinez has to get him back in the ring for the cover, wasting valuable time. S2S has him in. There's the cover. That should do it. 2. And somehow Jay Vidal hangs on. What a match here in Hialeah.
Unbelievable encounter here. Where's this one going to end? Martinez signaling for it. He's looking for it again. This time if he nails it and can keep him in the ring, it's going to be the end.
Martinez going for it one more time. Could be time for Vidal really to go to sleep. Oh, he's got him.
Victory roll.
Pretty combination. There's a bridge. We got a new champion. We got a new champion. Vidal does it. Vidal does it.
Champ.
What a moment! Jay Vidal back in South Florida and back with championship gold around his waist, officially becoming the 3rd ever Cruiserweight champion. Jay Vidal back in the saddle again. Our second championship defended, and it's our first title change. Jay Vidal, welcome home, the brand new Cruiserweight champion.
First match back in CCW, and he couldn't have asked for a better one.
And the crowd giving the business to S2S as his title reign comes to a crashing halt. And we're now on tour with the Summer of Jay Vidal here in CCW. Folks, from what I understand, coming up next, some very special words from the founder of American Top Team, Dan Lambert, officially back in CCW with an official statement. What does he have to say? The only way to find out is to tune in, as it is coming up next.
Calling all future stars of professional wrestling. The CCW Training Facility is open in South Florida. If it has always been your dream to enter the squared circle, then the CCW Training Facility is the first step in making that dream come true. All of our trainees will participate at our live events and be part of our weekly TV show. Classes are forming now for referees, managers, and for male and female wrestlers. Call 954 397-6421 or visit our website at ccwrestlingfl.com and find out how you can make an impact on the pro wrestling scene. Call or click today.
Accidents happen. If you've been injured in an accident, get the compensation you deserve. At GotInjured.com, we're here to help you take your life back. Give us a call or visit us online at GotInjured.com now to learn more.
Do you want to be a mark? Or do you want to leave a mark?
I'm smarter than the average bear.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome, representing All Elite Wrestling, owner and founder of American Top Team, Dan Lambert.
So here he comes. The owner, the founder, the creator, the name behind American Top Team. Arguably the top training camp and facility in all of mixed martial arts. And of course, has since crossed over into the realm of professional wrestling. Dan Lambert has a microphone. That means you never know what's going to happen next.
The last time I was here, I upset a few people with some words I said about the lovely city of Hialeah. I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I did not mean to offend anybody with those words. Which is why I said that in English, knowing that 99% of you people don't even bother taking the time to learn our language, and you come over here.
I believe this guy. I mean, what is he even doing here?
He clearly hates Hialeah.
Yeah, so why come?
I'm right here, Paul. What am I doing in this shit hole? In all seriousness, people, I had a miscalculation last time I came. I failed to remember that some of you would take those government-issued cell phones you got when you crossed the border illegally, and you would use the translator app to see what I said. So that was my mistake, and I apologize.
Oh, this guy couldn't be more
But in
disingenuous.
my own defense, I do want to say that I didn't even want to come here in the first place and say any of that stuff to you guys. The only reason I came was because I ran into a little bit of trouble with the law. The judge sentenced me to some community service hours. And I was able to satisfy them by coming down to this third world shithole and providing some entertainment to these scumbags. I'm not here to play a walk game with you people. No walk game. That went out of style like 20 years ago, people. All right, let's play. Let me ask you a question. So I come to your job, pull into the drive-thru window, order a burger and fries, wait for you to ask me what I want to drink, and then what do you do? No, I shut up and let you do your job. Shut up and let me do the same. Okay, no more miscommunications. I'm going to leave you right now with a few parting words in your own native tongue, thanks to my translator app. And it says, "Come mierda, pendejos."
Wait a minute. Are we about to do a little walking, Dan?
There he is.
The manager of champions has returned to CCW.
Finally, somebody to shut this guy up.
Fonzie. I don't either. Way too much.
Hey, cut the music, Daddy. Hey, who the hell do you think you are coming into my town, Hialeah, CCW people, baby, and talking a lot
Some real low-hanging fruit tonight, Dan.
You keep on snack, somebody's gonna come out and kick your ass. Alright, well, I don't think that's someone, some 5'5", 130-pound methead, but if you are, I'm standing right here.
Is that really necessary?
I mean, this guy couldn't be any more insulting. Fonzie climbing the steps.
Well, you hear what the crowd
Hang on a
wants.
second, Fonzie.
Here I am, let's go.
Hey, we need to get some CCW officials out here and put an end to this. Before something happens, we don't want to.
Internet there. So you probably haven't Googled me, so let me tell you who I am, okay? I own American Top Team, the biggest and most successful mixed martial arts company in this world today. I've got 3 people fighting in the UFC as we speak right now. I am a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And most important of all, I am also a licensed trial attorney, and if you lay one of your greasy little Cuban fingers on me, I will sue you and own everything you have. Yeah!
Can he do that?
Oh, come on!
What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Wait a minute. We need to get some help out here now.
That's the very definition of a cheap shot.
He's got Fonzie hanging in the tree of woe.
Oh no, come on. Get someone out
Get
here.
somebody
Come
out here
on.
now.
Get some security out here, damn it. Come on, not now. Don't do this. Oh,
What the hell? Come on.
come on. Oh, Fonzie's busted open. Fonzie's gushing blood here. Yeah, a whole lot of technique was really involved in that. That black belt really came in handy.
Hallelujah. And now the referees come out. Give me a break.
As Fonzie going to break it up.
Fonzie is just split wide open.
As this crowd, they want to see him throw down, but Dan Lambert heading for higher ground. Bill Alfonso once again his hands right around the founder of American Top Team.
I don't understand this guy, Dan Lambert, coming out here, insult after insult. Why did we even invite him?
What a turn of events here as Dan Lambert coming out, running down the crowd of Hialeah. What else is new? But Bill Alfonso, the manager of champions, returning to CCW and trying to get his hands on Dan Lambert. A little bit of a skirmish there, Dan, until the officials broke it up. But it seems like the issues between Dan Lambert and Bill Alfonso far from over here at CCW.
Well, without a doubt, we've not seen the end of this one. I'm looking for Bill Alfonso to get his hands around the throat of Dan Lambert after what happens here right now.
As that one should potentially come to a head sometime in the near future here in CCW. Hoping to get some more information on the issues between those two men. But Dan, coming up next, it's the 9-month Southeastern Championship reign of Jackal Stevens taking on Alex Chamberlain in a very high-profile contest. Another title match, our second of 4 to be decided tonight, and it is coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the CCW Southeastern Championship. Introducing first, weighing in at 245 pounds from Miami, Florida, Alex Chamberlain.
So Dan, here we go, our second of 4. Rather, our third of 5 title matches to be decided here tonight. As Alex Chamberlain, who's been laying down the Chamberlain challenges over the last several months here in CCW, hasn't always come up on the right end of the winning side. But a great opportunity tonight taking on Jackal Stevens, who regained the Southeastern Championship in December back here in this building, knocking off Qrow. And Stevens, who 1 year ago tonight, Dan, knocked off Anthony Katina in an epic ladder match to retain that Southeastern Championship, has a big test in front of him tonight in Alex Chamberlain.
It's been a long time reign for Jackal Stevens. This might be his toughest challenge, though. Alex Chamberlain, a much larger competitor, tipping the scales at about 240 pounds.
Weighing at 215 pounds from South Jersey, he is your CCW Southeastern Champion, Jackal Stevens.
And listen to this crowd. Coming alive for the Southeastern Champion. As Stevens, if you take a look at him, Dan, arguably the best shape of his career, as he got himself in top condition to take on Chamberlain.
You're absolutely correct about that. He's put on about 15 pounds of muscle in the last several months, and he's looking really in tip-top shape. Cardiovascular conditioning is second to none. Jackal Stevens, a fighting champion. But when you're in the ring with the likes of Alex Chamberlain, anything can happen.
So Stevens and Chamberlain here as all titles on the line tonight at Bash of the Brew 19.
Chamberlain always calm, cool, and collected, never in a hurry.
A big fight feel here in Hialeah. We already know there's two majorly anticipated championship bouts in the form of Jessi Elaban and KiLynn, and of course, our Hialeah street fight main event with Cha-Cha Charlie and Ariel Levy. And bell sounds, we're underway. Referee Amy Veronica assigned to the Southeastern Championship match. Alex Chamberlain challenging Jackal Stevens one-on-one.
Stare across the ring at one another. Chamberlain with his height and weight advantage. Stevens possibly in better condition though.
Chamberlain has competed all over the world, held championships all around the United States in the Northeast and the Pacific Northwest, out in Las Vegas as well. A couple of tours of China. As Jackal Stevens has established himself right up there with Cha-Cha Charlie, arguably the most popular man in CCW. But certainly inside the ring, bell to bell, one of the top athletes as well.
Chamberlain is rolling along.
Kick his ass.
And a bit of a feeling out process here. Chamberlain, of course, has the size and weight advantage in addition to experience, but I don't know how many people's heart inside that ring get bigger than Jackal Stevens.
Well, I'd say about none. Stevens so tough.
Has suffered injuries in matches and competed all the way to the end. Very little quit in Jackal Stevens.
Oh, he had control with that leg, but decided to go to the side headlock. They have a strategy here.
Back to a vertical base here as Stevens trying to cut down the size of Chamberlain. Smart move there by Jackal. As Chamberlain has to have somewhere near about a 30-pound weight advantage on the champion. Front chancery applied here by Stevens. Trying to keep Chamberlain worn down. And you see the experience picking up there for Alex as he picks the ankle of Jackal Stevens. But right back into the side headlock here. As both competitors really trying to feel the other out. And Chamberlain will not give him the clean break. But Stevens, the elevation, sends Chamberlain up and over all the way to the arena floor right in front of us. And the slingshot plancha takes out Chamberlain as the Southeastern champion has it rolling early on.
Stevens is hammering away with chops.
And Jackal trying to take him back into the ring and maybe look to finish him off. Oh, goes for that signature slingshot plancha. Or senton rather, as Chamberlain is able to put the brakes on. And now Chamberlain, there's a roll through right into a submission. Gonna tie him up, Jackal Stevens. Heads up wrestling right there. Into the counter submission.
Look at the look of intensity on the face of Jackal Stevens.
And Chamberlain able to escape, sending Stevens here into the far side corner.
Man, that headbutt caught him right in the neck.
That one reverberated all throughout Unbranded Brewing Company. And Jackal Stevens turned upside down and inside out as he pops right out of the corner. And Alex Chamberlain now in firm control. There's a cover.
2.
And Dan, ever since Alex Chamberlain officially returned to CCW a couple of months ago, he has been laying down those Chamberlain challenges. We've seen a semblance of success, but he has always looked like the next man up in terms of a big-time star ready to break through.
Absolutely right. He's been clamoring for a title shot for weeks now. He was finally granted that. Let's see if he can capitalize here. Stevens certainly in trouble.
And Chamberlain now goes back to the well one more time, but only a 2.
Yeah. Come on.
And Chamberlain trying to utilize that size now to wear down Jackal Stevens. This is really where the experience of Chamberlain starts to kick in.
Yeah, he's an incredibly patient wrestler.
As this crowd in Hialeah 100% behind the CCW Southeastern champion. And Stevens.
Wow, Stevens does some well-placed kicks.
A combination of strikes, Dan, this can do it. He rolls over Chamberlain, hooks that outside leg 2. And a near fall.
Chamberlain barely able to get that shoulder up. Stevens now on the attack. Nice reversal by Chamberlain. Sidewalk slam, puts him down 1, 2.
And Alex Chamberlain on the cusp of securing his first single CCW championship, I believe, ever, and his first CCW championship in general in over a decade.
Absolutely, he was a former CCW Tag Team champion. Stevens now rolls him up. 1,
Here we go, Jackal
2.
with the cover. Nearly escapes. But Chamberlain once again chops down Jackal Stevens to size.
What? How we doing?
And Chamberlain here doing a number on Jackal. And just launches Stevens nearly halfway across the ring there, Dan.
Big heel throw. Stevens now draped across that bottom rope. A look of pain on his face. Oh, come on.
And Chamberlain, though he only lives about 15 minutes away from the venue, not a big fan of the 305.
I don't think he's a big fan of anybody except for himself.
Stevens slips out the back. And Dan, there's light at the end of the tunnel for Jackal Stevens. This is the opening he was looking for. Spin heel kick connects right in the jaw. Here we go, 1, 2. And Chamberlain able to power out.
Now staying on Chamberlain, right hand to the jaw. Reversal by Chamberlain. Stevens with that leaping neck breaker could
He
happen
connects,
here.
Dan. This could do
1,
it.
2, 3. I thought he had him.
The crowd thought he had it. We thought he had it. But the most important thing is Alex Chamberlain knows he did not have it. And Jackal Stevens, maybe Hialeah's second favorite son.
You son of a bitch!
Oh, and Stevens coming out of the corner and is elevated up and down.
Oh, that boot card right.
And Chamberlain might be looking to shut the door. T-bone suplex.
You might have him here, Blake.
That might be enough. There's the cover. A bit of the cocky variety and only gets one.
Really showing that intentional fortitude, that grit and determination as he tries to make his way back to his feet.
And Chamberlain here unloading on Stevens. And Jackal may be knocked out here, Dan.
Chamberlain just hammering away with forearms. And then a fist for good measure.
Chamberlain looks to send Jackal to the outside. And Stevens tries to skin the cat back in. And Jackal from the outside in the momentum. Oh! And Chamberlain nearly decapitates him.
Chamberlain down, unable to capitalize.
As both the champion and challenger are down here. Both men in a precarious position. Chamberlain crawling over. Here's a cover, he's gonna hook the leg. This could do it, Dan. We might have a new champ. And 2.5. Amy Veronica's hands coming down for the third time, but Jackal Stevens able to slip that shoulder up.
Barely raise that shoulder. Chamberlain now trying to pull Stevens to his feet.
And Chamberlain now. Turned inside out. Stevens, Olympic slam. He connects, Dan.
That's gonna do it.
That should be enough. 1, 2, 3.
No!
Somehow Alex Chamberlain was able to slip that shoulder up. That had to have been out of desperation.
I gotta tell you, I don't know how he did it. That Olympic slam was just perfectly executed. Leaping to the top rope now with Jackal Stevens.
As Stevens
Chamberlain meets him with a right hand.
perched on that top turnbuckle. Chamberlain, we've seen him finish off opponents before with that superplex.
Stevens going for a little snack.
Jackal taking a big bite out of Chamberlain here. Chamberlain, oh!
Wait a minute!
Oh!
Good grief!
Jackal connects with the blockbuster, but that was on the referee.
Chamberlain pulled Amy Veronica in front of him.
Chamberlain goes for the lariat. Stevens. The springboard sends him down. And Jackal's looking towards the entrance. There's no official.
Wait! What
There's
the
agony.
hell?
There's agony.
No! Oh, damn it!
Eric Christopher out here directing traffic. There's a choke slam. And he's going to send him 6 feet under.
But there's still no referee. There's still no Alex Chamberlain.
Stevens is down. Chamberlain. I think Chamberlain may have caught the tail end of it.
But there's no referee.
He's waving for one. Here comes Adrian Paz. No, it can't end like this. 2, 3, and we've got a new champion.
Here is your winner and new CCW Southeastern champion, Alex Chamberlain.
What a shocking turn of events as Jackal Stevens, nearly 9-month reign as Southeastern champion comes to a crashing halt. And it had absolutely nothing to do with Alex Chamberlain. It was all the masterminded plan crafted by Eric Christopher and Agony.
Now, are these two somehow aligned? And is Eric Christopher the mastermind behind all of this?
You almost wonder, are they aligned? there some sort of payoff? Or is it possibly the long storied history from American Horror Story between Jackal Stevens, Dr. Eric Christopher, and Agony?
That could very well be. In any event, Alex Chamberlain has that Southeastern title over his shoulder.
Chamberlain demanding the mic.
Have you gone on my roster before? Have you done the Chamberlain challenge? Was the best thing pro wrestling all after tonight? You will all be sorely mistaken because my obnoxiousness is about to hit a whole nother level. You are all bearing witness to something special tonight, and everyone and everything in pro wrestling has failed to notice, but you do now that Chamberlain is wrestling. Hialeah, I hope every single one of you can start jury duty and won't even in a class on the way home. You can grab it, and I am your champion, whether you like it or not.
Dan Evans, our second title change of the night, and once again has very little to do with the man who won the title, as Agony and Dr. Eric Christopher once again arrive on the scene and make a shocking return here to CCW.
Unbelievable miscarriage of justice. And I love how Alex Chamberlain comes up and berates the crowd, acting like he did something when Agony was the cause of the loss.
Jackal Stevens will certainly live to fight another day. But ladies and gentlemen, the Chamberlain Challenge has been just turned up a notch, as he is your brand new Southeastern champion here in CCW. Dan, with the way and the rate things have been going tonight, we very well could be in for another surprise coming up next. We've been seeing this, been festering for months, it's been bubbling on the surface, and it's all gonna be delivered here coming up next. The Mother Effing King, KiLynn King, puts her CCW women's title on the line against Jessi Elaban, the #1 contender. Ever since Elaban arrived in CCW, she's been tearing through the competition. KiLynn King's toughest opponent is coming up next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the CCW Women's Championship. Introducing first, the challenger from Austin, Texas, Jessi Elaban.
Well, here comes Jessi Elaban, the challenger.
And she's really been on a tear ever since arriving in CCW right at the beginning of the summer. And she's made it very clear she's here for one reason, and that's to become the next CCW Women's Champion.
While she's ticked off victory after victory, all the while stating she's here for CCW Gold.
Where did she get that picture?
I can't see it, hang on a second.
It's a picture of her with the title.
Well, I don't know if you saw on our Facebook page, Blake, about a week ago.
She attacked KiLynn at the CCW arena.
She did indeed. Managed to snap a shot with that belt over her shoulder. I made a poster of it.
Almost looks like she borrowed Ric Flair's Photoshop skills.
Could very well have.
From Gainesville, Ohio, she is your CCW Women's Champion, KiLynn King.
And Dan, bad match at the Brew Unbranded Brewing Company has become the second home of the Mother Effin' King. This is the site of where she won the CCW Women's Championship back in January. And the exact same place 4 months ago, she made history when she defeated Marina Tucker in one of the most epic cage matches we've ever seen.
She did indeed made lover here in Hialeah. KiLynn King has really made a name for herself here at Coastal Championship Wrestling, as she raised that title high in the air.
Both women coming into this match in incredible shape. Certainly your number 1 and number 2 in the rankings here when it comes to the women's division in CCW. And one thing about KiLynn King, she will certainly not back down from anyone. And there's no woman that can intimidate her enough. But Jessi Elaban's mind games certainly very well could throw KiLynn off of her game plan.
They match up very well, Blake. Both women very tall, very athletic. Referee Andy Seeley calls for the bell. This championship match is underway.
One of our featured bouts of the night, certainly one on the marquee, as these two women leaving it all in the ring here. KiLynn tried to end it early, maybe. And Elaban,
nicely done, body scissors, rolls her up.
looks for that pinning combination, and KiLynn able to escape. KiLynn puts herself in a wheelbarrow position. There's a roll through. 1. Oh.
Excellent maneuver, but just too early in the match. Jessi Elaban, a lot of life left in her.
This crowd
really behind the champ.
KiLynn, indeed, 100%. The confidence that KiLynn King has gained as CCW Women's Champion has put her in position to become a top contender for the NWA Women's World Championship, for the AEW Women's World Championship. You've seen KiLynn compete with the best of the best, and it's all been rooted in her reign as CCW Women's Champion.
Absolutely, it's been a launching pad for her, but she earns every opportunity that she gets. Elaban out of the way, but King was able to put on the brakes.
As King gonna go meet Elaban right on that ring apron. Oh! And Dan, we often talk about it being the hardest part of the ring. Minimal padding or protection.
King now has a hold of that poster.
And the Mother Effin' King. Looks like we might have an impromptu signing.
She just grabbed the Sharpie off our announce table, Blake. Looks like she's autographing it.
Not exactly sure what she wrote on it, but this is a family show.
I don't know if I'm allowed to repeat it. I can see what she wrote. Look out. Oh! Elaban from behind.
And Elaban
on the attack now. Slamming that poster against the head of King.
Smacking it right across her face. And now Elaban follows King inside. And now Elaban jacks King right down, creating some whiplash on the neck of the Mother Effin' King.
Well-placed kicks. One to the back, one to the hand, one to the chest.
And I can certainly say, Dan, in the 4+ month reign as women's champion for KiLynn King, I don't think she's ever been more against the wall, possibly in peril, than she is here against Jessi Elaban.
Elaban is certainly a force to be reckoned with here. King out of the way, though, of a leaping forearm.
As King, once again, has Elaban on that apron. Going for it again, Elaban has her well scouted this time.
Grab the hold of that rope and really put the
oh no, what is Elaban gonna do here?
Don't.
If she hits the German suplex, that's going to take them both out.
Both ladies in a very precarious position right now. Elaban looking for a German suplex off the apron to the floor.
King fighting hard here.
King has one hand, now a second hand grasping that rope.
As Elaban trying to hold on as well. King creates the separation yet again. Oh, and Elaban hits the pump kick, but the momentum sends King right back inside the ring.
Elaban with some choice words for the fans.
Elaban from the outside in.
1, 2. Somehow King able to power out.
She thought that would be enough, but KiLynn is able to hang on. As the mother effing King trying to feed off of the energy here in Hialeah.
Elaban trying to twist her head off her shoulders.
And you almost have to wonder, Dan, with all the hard-fought battles KiLynn King has taken on over the last several months, has maybe the gas tank ran out?
There's a lot of fight left in KiLynn King, I can guarantee you that. Elaban, though, really putting the punishment on her. King now firing back, escaping from that chin lock.
As King tries to build some momentum, but Elaban follows her right into the ropes. And now Jessi Elaban spins KiLynn King right around. Blue Thunder Bomb stacks her up. We got a new champion! And 2.5, Dan, we were a half a count away from our third new champion of the night.
Well, it was well executed, Blake, but she didn't get a lot of height on it.
And now Elaban
now to the outside. She's got a hand on that title belt. She's going Farrow, she says. Well, you have to earn her first, Elaban.
She's looking to
counting. She's bringing that into the ring. It's going to go to disqualification.
She's looking to keep this momentum rolling, but Dan, indeed, their disqualifications are in effect here.
Referee Andy Seeley now has a hold of that belt.
Andy Seeley going to retrieve the championship. But Elaban now going to come right back for the poster as Andy Seeley making sure the title's away. And Elaban got the poster, and now she's trying to choke KiLynn King. There's not a lot of force with that poster, Dan, but if anything, it's adding insult to injury.
Well, it's a little bit stiff. I mean, you roll it up like that, you can certainly use it as a weapon. King trying to power back with it.
And King
jamming it into the mouth of Jessi Elaban, making her eat her own words. Belly to back suplex, nails it.
dumps her right on her neck, and that might be the momentum that KiLynn was looking for to switch the tide here.
King has suffered a lot of punishment, though. She's still got to get her way back to her feet now. King rolling towards the ropes, looking out at the crowd.
KiLynn has found an opening, but Dan, can she capitalize?
We're about to find out, Blake. King now back up to her feet. Elaban up to hers. King blocks the right. And again, firing back with shots to the side of the head. KiLynn King now.
As KiLynn reversed into the ropes, takes Elaban right down. And for a second time. And KiLynn looking to turn the corner here. That spin out suplex. Here we go.
One, two. Elaban with a powerful kick out. King possibly showing signs of frustration.
And KiLynn. Now Dan, she's looking to go back to the drawing board here. She might be looking to shut the door on Jessi Elaban.
Wow, she missed that roundhouse kick. Oh, forget about it.
King catches her.
Caught her.
Elaban might be out on her feet. Wait, standing switch by Elaban. And a German release suplex. What a back and forth affair we have here for the CCW Women's Championship.
King right back to her feet. Clutching the back of her head. Delivering a German of her own.
And King delivers.
Blake, what a match we're seeing here.
And King sidestepped by Elaban. Elaban goes for another German of the release variety. Elaban. Gonna send KiLynn in, reversed by KiLynn King. And Elaban in a very precarious spot here. The mother effing King going to high-risk territory, Dan. And a super German release suplex.
Wow. Tremendous, though. Wisely, Elaban rolls to the outside. She cannot be pinned.
Elaban to the floor. And King
Drop kick through the ropes.
sacrificing it all.
Both ladies down on the outside. I can't tell which is the worst for wear.
As King is down, Elaban is down, but Dan, they're both on the outside. If anything, this favors the champion.
Well, it certainly does. Champion's advantage. She can't lose the title unless she's pinned or submitted. Referee up to a 6 count as both ladies get back to their feet, and they're going at it right here in front of us, Blake.
They're brawling on the floor.
You better pay attention to that count, though.
And Dan, I think this is about to be it.
Count.
And that's going to be it, Dan.
Both of them counted out
As
of the
Andy
ring.
Seeley, it looks like, has counted out both ladies.
King wants Elaban back in the ring.
I don't even know if they realize the match is over.
They may or may not, but this one is certainly done. Elaban tumbles out of the ring.
As Andy Seeley trying to restrain KiLynn King. And Elaban being restrained by the official.
Adrian Paz just ate an elbow from Elaban. Andy Seeley.
And they break free. And here we
this
go.
This one is certainly not over. They're fighting in the back. Referee giving chase. Wow. What a Donnybrook.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been informed that the match ended in a double countout. However, still, CCW Women's Champion, KiLynn King.
So certainly not how we wanted the match to end there, Dan, in a double countout. KiLynn King is still the champion, but just like Dan Lambert and Bill Alfonso's issues are not quite done, it looks like Jessi Elaban and KiLynn King a little bit beat left on that moment.
No, they're not done by a long shot. They're battling in the back as the crowd is chanting to let them fight. This one's not over, no sir.
And speaking of not over, Bash of the Brew 19 rolls on. 2 more matches left to go. Of course, our main event, Hialeah Street Fight for the CCW Heavyweight Championship. But coming up next, it's student versus teacher. Damien Fenrir, the Vampire Warrior Gangrel. It's the past, present, and future. And it's coming up next.
Hialeah, we still have 2 more matches.
Focus Stone Design, from fabrication to installation of natural stone and quartz. Sick of seeing the same old kitchen? Revamp with us. Call us today or check us out online at bocastonedesign.com.
Accidents happen. If you've been injured in an accident, get the compensation you deserve. At GotInjured.com, we're here to help you take your life back. Give us a call or visit us online at GotInjured.com now to learn more.
arguably the blue chip prospect of Coastal Championship Wrestling.
Well, he is. Just ask him. He'll tell you.
He'll certainly talk about himself as long as you want to listen. As Damien Fenrir, one of the most prized students to ever come out of the teaching of Gangrel, has a wonderful opportunity tonight against this teacher. Oh, come on!
Give me a break.
As Fenrir looking ready to go here. And if he can get by Gangrel, Dan, Fenrir very well could have a title shot in his future.
Well, if he can get past Gangrel, he will have earned one.
And weighing in at 260 pounds from Santa Cruz, California, he is the Vampire Warrior, Gangrel!
And here he comes.
What were you thinking? Stepping into the realm of the deadly, sinister, Vampire Warrior.
Time to do a little banging and banging here in Hialeah. And listen to this ovation. The legend has arrived.
Looks to be in great shape, Blake, and moving well.
Enjoying his 35th year of competition as the Vampire Warrior. And I'll tell you what, he may no longer be considered in his prime, but on any given night, he can be as good as he ever was.
Certainly no question about that. Look out for Fenrir, though.
Oh! And Fenrir, always looking to play spoiler. And you would think he'd have a little bit more respect for his trainer than that.
Well, he's looking for victory, and I can't say I blame him.
And just like that, Fenrir capitalizing on the moment.
Gangrel blocked a pair of rights and a pair of overhand chops.
A little flip-flop and fly right here in Hialeah. And look at Gangrel. He's moving and grooving.
1, 2.
That signature corkscrew elbow. And he's already calling for it, Dan. This is going to be a quick night for Gangrel.
Fenrir in his clutch, but no, Fenrir spins out of it.
And Fenrir, he's going to send Gangrel to the outside. He's right in front of us here, Dan. And will Fenrir look to capitalize? I don't think you want to play in the dirt with Gangrel.
Clear on the opposite side of the ring. Fenrir making his way around now. Gangrel not aware.
Oh, wait, Fenrir. Oh!
Fenrir hit the crowd with a thud.
As again, there's no padding or protection out here, Dan. That's back meeting concrete.
That could be it. Gangrel, all he's got to do is get back in the ring and take a count-out victory.
as Gangrel looks to send Fenrir back inside, where the damage can really be done.
Wow, how does Fenrir fire back?
Oh, look at Gangrel, nearly shrugging that right off. But Fenrir looking to capitalize now. And the Vampire Warrior with a little pep in his step tonight. And a beautiful standing dropkick executed by Fenrir. His athleticism is top notch.
Wow, there's no arguing with that. Incredible vertical leap. Really caught Gangrel square with that dropkick. And now he's got his foot planted in his throat. How he's still walking, I have no idea.
And Fenrir can't give Gangrel too much of an opening. Gangrel here, the Irish whip, reversed by Fenrir. And Fenrir connects. Look at the elevation by Damien Fenrir. There's a cover.
Referee way out of position there.
And Fenrir once again looking to tie up Gangrel. And Dan, we talked about it at the top of the match. If Fenrir can get by his trainer in this matchup, it would be very difficult to not give him a title shot sometime very soon.
He will have earned it. He's able to defeat Gangrel. There's no doubt about that.
We know the Bus Big English has certainly earned a heavyweight title shot sometime in the next few weeks, but Damien Fenrir very well could be next on that list with a win tonight.
I just dropped that knee right across the forehead. Gangrel blocked the right hand from his knees and fired at a shot. But he was met with another forearm to the side of the head for his troubles. Better not waste time. Jaw jacket with the crowd.
And he looks to go right back to capitalizing on his offensive attack here. And Fenrir
driving the shoulder in the midsection once again.
look how low he gets that.
Got a hold of him.
Oh, Gangrel
That DDT. Turn around.
looking to end it very early. And Fenrir once again driving that boot right to the throat.
And look at the determination on Gangrel's face. Fenrir, though, staying on top of his opponent. And then that shin in his throat, though, right in front of the referee.
Adrian Paz checking in.
What is he doing?
As Fenrir blatantly grabbing the top rope.
He had him choking. Adrian Paz is looking right at him.
And look at these clubbing blows on Gangrel. Catching him right in the jaw with that elbow.
Fenrir wasting time with the referee. He needs to go for a cover. When you have a veteran like Gangrel down, you got to take every opportunity to pin him.
And Fenrir looks to be in firm control, but gives Gangrel the slightest of openings. The float over right
Just
after
way
that side
out of
Russian leg
position.
sweep. And look at Fenrir going a tit for tat with his trainer.
But again, making the mistake of not going for the cover.
It looks like he's signaling for some sort of maybe 450.
I was just going to say that he's signaling for the 450. Gangrel, though, back to his feet.
And Fenrir too busy talking to the fans in the front row.
Gangrel now with right hand on Fenrir, perched on the top rope.
And now the Vampire Warrior. Ready to shut the door here.
Gangrel looking for a superplex
We
here.
saw Chamberlain attempted earlier on to no avail on Jackal Stevens. Can Gangrel execute here on his student Damien Fenrir?
Fenrir digging the fingers into the eyes of Gangrel. Able to shove him off that second rope. Gangrel now with a glassy-eyed look. It's Fenrir, he's perched on the top.
Fenrir goes for it all, Dan, but there's no water in the pool.
No, sir, Gangrel had it well scouted.
And now with Fenrir down, he needs to have eyes in the back of his head. And there's a vampire ready for that clock to strike midnight. And Gangrel, reversed by Fenrir. Gangrel, got him in position, nearly slipped out, and the power bomb. He wants it again, and the double underhook variety.
That's how he got it.
But again, Dan, with this environment, it's so hot and sweaty in here, very difficult to grip your opponent.
Absolutely, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's... Oh, nice power slam.
Snap power slam, 1, 2.
He was so far out of position, it's not even funny.
And now Gangrel starting to smell it. This crowd starts to sense it. The DDT could be on the horizon.
Gangrel now, stalking Fenrir. Fenrir retreats to the corner.
And Gangrel gonna follow Fenrir in. Oh, goes for the signature bulldog. Fenrir put on the brakes, and now Fenrir
Give credit where credit is due. That was a great heads up.
right back in the driver's seat. Goes for the big swing. Gangrel's got him in position. And Fenrir blocks the DDT yet again. Fenrir, he connects. Fenrir, he's pushed off by Gangrel. Gonna come right back for more. Gangrel sidesteps him. And now Gangrel has Fenrir in a very precarious spot.
Gangrel now up to the second rope.
What's he gonna do here, Dan? Gangrel,
He's looking for a bulldog.
he's going for the super bulldog.
Oh, no.
He connects.
That could do it. 1, 2. Oh, how did he kick out?
And it might be time for Gangrel to send Fenrir packing. He's got him.
Oh.
And there's the impaler.
Nailed it.
That ought to do it. 1, 2, 3. Huge win for Gangrel. Right on track here in CCW.
I gotta tell you, Blake, I'd like to see some gold around the waist of the Vampire Warrior Gangrel.
Since his return to CCW just under a year ago, he's been all about getting the next generation ready to compete and carry that banner. But the one thing that's been missing, Dan, championship gold. It might be time for the Vampire Warrior to start thinking about something around his waist here in CCW.
That'll be interesting to see.
And speaking of around the waist, it's coming up next, Dan. The richest prize in CCW. Ariel Levy, fresh off of winning that championship the last time we were in this building against Cha-Cha Charlie. He has an opportunity tonight against Cha-Cha once again in a Hialeah street fight. Anything goes. All we know is one man's gonna walk out with that heavyweight title. Will Levy retain, or will Cha-Cha Charlie once again have the title around his waist?
We shall see. This is the one I've been waiting for all night. It's time for Cha-Cha Charlie to get his revenge and for Ariel Levy to get his comeuppance.
It's going to be big. It's a big fight feel here in Hialeah. And the heavyweight title coming up next.
And now, it's time for the main event.
So Dan, it has all come down to this. Not only is it for the richest prize in CCW, but it's become very personal between Cha-Cha Charlie and Ariel Levy, and you can take it all the way back nearly a year and a half to early May of 2021, one of the initial breakout events, Pompano Beach Street fight. We've gone about 45 minutes south here to Hialeah, but these two looking to throw down yet again tonight.
Well, Cha-Cha looks prepared. Of course, Blake, those brass knuckles came into play. That's how Ariel Levy was able to get that championship. Should have been disqualified, but tonight, it's all legal.
Cha-Cha and that come as you are retire. Wherever this one spills, Cha-Cha's gonna be ready to fight. Hialeah's favorite son wants his title yet again, but he's gonna have to go through a crazed madman if he wants to regain gold. And you want to talk about attitude change? You want to talk about completely going off the rails? Ariel Levy has become a certified madman over the last 3 months.
Well, the arrogance is just oozing out of every pore of Ariel Levy. The crowd greeting him with a chorus of boos. I am the champ that you deserve.
As Levy, we've seen him attack, obviously, his former partner Venetius. We've seen him attack Bill Alfonso. We saw him leave it all in the ring against Cha-Cha Charlie the first time around.
Levy in tip-top shape, though. You got to give him that. Cha-Cha Charlie waiting patiently. I know he's been counting the days and the minutes to get his hands on Levy.
He has been circling August 6th for the last 4 weeks, basically. There's a big fight feel here in Hialeah. The CCW heavyweight title is on the line. Senior official Bruce Owens decided this contest. Let's head back to Jessi Elaban, set the table for our main event at Bash of the Brew 19.
Weighing in at 225 pounds, representing
sounds, we're underway. Hialeah street fight for the CCW Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Cha-Cha waited as long as he could, and he just couldn't take it anymore. Had to get his hands on Levy. He's got him up on the shoulders.
And Charlie nearly
running leg lariat,
nearly kicking Levy's head right off. Cha-Cha might try to get this one down early, Dan.
Levy.
Smart move by Levy.
Yep, wise move.
Outside.
Levy pitching a fit here on the outside.
Wait a minute. Keep your eyes on Cha-Cha. He's all the way upstairs.
Up on top. Levy again walking away.
And Levy's gonna leave, but Dan, if Cha-Cha follows him, that's completely legal. We're gonna follow the action here as we're gonna go live right in the crowd.
After him.
Dan, we're going right on top of the action. We're going all in here tonight, Hialeah street fight. As Cha-Cha Charlie and Ariel Levy amongst the sea of people. They're right here amongst the people, Dan.
Not you!
I can't see a thing, Blake.
Remember, anything goes. Pinfalls count anywhere in Hialeah.
I'm standing right here next to the former NXT star AJ Francis, who's been here signing autographs.
One of our many dignitaries in the house tonight. And now we're over by the merchandise, we're over by the concessions. We might see a Lucha Donut fly, Dan.
I still can't see a thing from my vantage point. Oh, the beer is flying now, though.
The suns are starting to fly. Cha-Cha's got a chair now.
Levy down. Cha-Cha on top of the chair. Drops the elbow across him.
A little added momentum with the elbow off the chair.
I don't know if this is pinfalls count anywhere, but Owens looked like he was ready to make the count.
As referee Bruce Owens right with him.
Levy firing shots back in.
Not the merch, not the merch.
Levy now into the merchandise table.
If they wanted an Andy English t-shirt, they could have just bought one.
Cha-Cha really hammering away on Ariel Levy. Levy on rubbery legs. Oh, look out! As Cha-Cha Charlie just knocked the beer into the hand of AJ Francis.
Accidentally strikes AJ Francis. Dan, he clearly did not do that on purpose.
Well, oh, forget it!
As Cha-Cha barrels right through the chair and lays out Levy.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Levy down, Cha-Cha Charlie standing above him. That chair is splintered, they better be careful. I'm still here next to AJ Francis, not happy. We're getting beer spilled on his merchandise.
As
Cha-Cha now with that strap.
He's removed that belt, Dan. And it's last time for Ariel Levy.
Wow, you can really hear that leather stinging the back of Ariel Levy. Oh, forget it.
As Cha-Cha just laying right into Levy. As the champion, feeling all kinds of pain right now. And now
Cha-Cha has that bell wrapped around the throat.
And again, Dan, totally legal here.
Oh, looks like he's got him by a leash. It looks like he's dragging him back to the ring.
And it looks like we're going to head right back, along with these 500 plus in attendance, right back towards the ringside area. as there is sheer chaos here at Unbranded Brewing Company. Everything you would expect from
Levy
Bash at
thrown
the
over the
Brew.
guardrails. He's back in the ringside area. Cha-Cha Charlie right behind him. It looks like he's got a can of coffee, Blake.
As you see the chaos, you see the destruction. How authentically Hialeah is this? With the can of coffee.
Oh no!
Certainly brings a nice aroma to the ring.
You can smell it. It smells great, I gotta be honest.
That'll
Levy.
wake you right up.
Levy is a mess, though.
As Cha-Cha has Ariel Levy.
Oh! Levy able to reverse Cha-Cha into those steel steps.
Levy trying to make his own espresso. As Cha-Cha's laid out, Ariel Levy covered in coffee beans.
Levy appearing to be an absolute mess, but somehow on his feet. Oh, wait a minute, Cha-Cha's lacerated.
Oh, that's starting to gush, Dan. That's really starting to gush. The top of Cha-Cha Charlie's head.
I'm not sure what happened.
As he's losing blood at a rapid rate here.
It looks like he's cut on the back of his head, possibly.
And Cha-Cha.
I think it looks like possibly the side of his head.
Cha-Cha's very much busted open here, Dan. As that's a cut that's leaking very fast. Once again, Charlie losing blood at a rapid rate here. But he is the champion, and he will, or a former champion, he'll never quit.
The side of those, possibly a corner of those steel steps, connected with the side of the head of Cha-Cha Charlie, and he is absolutely gushing blood right now.
Certainly caught him at an unfavorable angle. As Charlie being choked here by Ariel Levy. And Dan, when these two battled in the Pompano Beach street fight nearly a year and a half ago, it was not even half the violence we're experiencing tonight in Hialeah.
Well, Cha-Cha is in serious trouble right now as Levy stands across the ring from him. Double knees right to the jaw. And what I thought was going to end in a regaining of the title for Cha-Cha. Oh, he able to kick out of that.
Somehow Charlie able to kick out. We've seen over the last several months, Dan, whether it's street fights, ambulance matches, no DQs, Cha-Cha Charlie's been in some of the most vicious wars we've ever seen here in Hialeah, and he's turned it up a notch tonight for the Hialeah street fight.
Well, he's certainly proven his ability and his endurance.
As Charlie,
Levy with Cha-Cha
you have to imagine at this point, Dan, he's got to be struggling to see with that blood in his eyes.
Well, that's going to do it. All he's got to do is cover him, Blake.
Almost reminiscent of Eddie Guerrero nearly 18 years ago.
There it is.
1,
2, and 3.
And
No.
somehow, Cha-Cha's able to hang on here.
Cha-Cha. Just no quit in this guy, Blake.
And Dan, you have to imagine at this point, Cha-Cha has to be losing some level of consciousness.
I mean, I don't know how much blood he's lost so far, but it is a significant amount. Wait a minute.
And he's busting out the nuts. We've seen those before, Dan.
That is how he won the title to begin with. Now he's got those brass knuckles on his fist. And if this one connects, no, Cha-Cha out of the way. Cha-Cha, backstabber.
Drives Levy right to the knees. This could be the opening. Levy.
Wait a minute, Cha-Cha's got the knocks.
He drops
Cha-Cha's got the knocks.
Cha-Cha's got him. As Charlie barely able to stand here, Dan. He can't stand, he can't see, but he's looking for that home run swing.
He
Right
caught
over
him in
the
the
center
jaw.
field wall. Down goes Levy.
I'm surprised Levy is still conscious.
As Cha-Cha, it looks like that sweat starting to slow down the blood flow.
Well, you can see a big, big lump forming on the side of his head where he connected with those steel steps.
And
He
Charlie,
certainly needs medical attention. He's running on adrenaline now.
but Dan, he won't receive that medical attention until he wins his championship back.
He could be going to the top. He could be going for it all here, Blake.
He's right by the hat. Levy's down. Charlie's calling for it. The
I wonder how
adrenaline's pumping.
My question is his equilibrium okay? Can he balance?
He's got to find his bearings.
That's it!
There you go!
New champion! New champion! 2! Wait a minute! Come on! No! No! No!
Where the hell did Alan Martinez come from?
This is BS!
Where the hell did S2S come from? He's got nothing to do with this match.
Damn it! He came sprinting down the aisle.
And S2S
Connects with a boot to the face.
lays out
Charlie
Cha-Cha.
is a bloody mess. Running on pure adrenaline. Levy back on his feet somehow with the help of Alan Martinez.
As S2S.
And of course there's no disqualification. Nothing Bruce Owens can do except for look on.
Levy calling for S2S to get the tables. Hasn't it been enough at this point?
Well, it certainly has, in my opinion. Levy with that boot.
And
Levy's busted open as well.
And Levy's got a door. What the hell is this happening? Come on.
Someone's got to come to the aid of Cha-Cha Charlie.
It's a
Martinez could be out here.
It's a 2-on-1 attack.
This is
There's
not
no
right.
DQs. There's no countouts. Get some reinforcements. Get rid of S2S.
Come on, Owens, do something. Count or something. Try to get him out of here.
As Martinez puts on the brakes. Oh. And Levy.
Backdrop.
He's backdropped. Cha-Cha. Gonna spin Martinez around. Right in position. And S2S gets driven right through the door.
Blake, he just showed him the exit.
And that was a one-way exit. Martinez ain't coming back.
Cha-Cha with a clothesline. And again.
As Cha-Cha, the tide has swung back his direction. There's the brainbuster. That's
He
step
nailed
one,
it.
Dan.
He nailed it. This one's over. Go to the top, Cha-Cha.
Can he connect with step two? If he can hit the Mangu splash with the head on, he will regain the championship.
Well, he nailed the Cha-Cha elbow, but he needs to go to the top to put this one away. He's going to go for the cover nonetheless. 1, 2. Oh, so close.
Somehow, some way, the Chilean superstar Ariel Levy kicks out.
Cha-Cha getting rid of that door.
At this point, Dan, what does either man have left in that gas tank? They're both running on empty.
Well, it can't be much. And again, I'm looking at that egg on the side of Cha-Cha Charlie's head. He could certainly have a concussion. He's lost a lot of blood.
And it's continuing to flow, Dan. It has slowed down a bit, but the blood loss of Cha-Cha Charlie reaching an uncomfortable number.
I mean, at what point is it too much? Cha-Cha now with another door. Setting it up in the corner.
And Charlie put S2S through a table. Now he's looking to put Levy through one.
Oh! Levy with a desperate low blow. And again, all Owens could do is sit back and watch.
And what can Levy possibly be looking for here, Dan? Oh no.
He's got a steel chair.
We saw the damage he did to Venetius and Bill Alfonso with that chair 3 months ago here in this building at Bash 16.
Oh no! Just hammering that chair across the back of Cha-Cha Charlie.
As Cha-Cha laid out in the center of the ring, Ariel Levy barely able to stand here. His blood loss starting to increase.
Levy on rubbery legs. He's got a hold of Cha-Cha Charlie's hat.
And now Levy's got the hat. You want to add insult to injury as he looks to go to the top.
That steel chair laid across the upper body of Cha-Cha Charlie. Levy with Cha-Cha's hat climbing to the top rope. Levy,
he's barely able to stand.
On unsteady legs. Give me a break. Adding insult to injury. Levy perched on that top rope.
Oh! And Cha-Cha! What a counter, Dan!
He took that chair and he wung it at Levy as he was coming down, and it connected.
What a counter by Cha-Cha Charlie.
Cha-Cha to the outside. What is he doing now?
As Cha-Cha, what could be left? Oh! He's going for the heavy artillery.
Cha-Cha with that ladder. It looks to be an 8-footer, Blake.
We've certainly seen ladders rear their heads here in recent months, of course, with that tag team title ladder match where Levy was on the losing end of things.
Well, it looks like Cha-Cha's got it where he wants it. Wait a minute. AJ Francis out ringside.
AJ Francis, who inadvertently got hit by Cha-Cha earlier on in this match. AJ wants an up-close and personal look at what could be a new champion.
Well, AJ, no, come on. AJ getting into the ring now.
And Francis
getting in the path of Cha-Cha Charlie. Come on, AJ, it was an accident with the beer.
It was clearly inadvertent.
Now's not the time or the place, AJ.
Oh, Cha-Cha picks him off, and Cha-Cha, in the outstretched arms of AJ Francis,
no.
And he snaps the table in half.
He just powerbombed him right through that door. AJ Francis interjecting himself in this match.
As Francis makes a shocking appearance in this bout. He was here signing autographs and meeting fans. He has nothing to do with what's going on inside the ring.
Man, Cha-Cha Charlie cannot catch a break. Levy crawling over to him, draping the arm across the chest. No, 2, damn it, 3.
And that's gonna do it. So just as it looked, Dan, like Cha-Cha Charlie was on the cusp of regaining his CCW Heavyweight Championship, his inadvertent shot earlier in this match with AJ Francis just cost him the title.
I mean, this is just unbelievable. What is AJ Francis doing? What is he thinking? I mean, I can understand him being upset that he got a beer knocked into him.
As Cha-Cha Charlie,
but there's a time and a place for everything. And this was not the time or the place.
Cha-Cha's going to need some medical attention. Oh, wait a minute. As AJ Francis shoves down Bruce Owens. What the hell has gotten into AJ Francis? Come on now. He picks up Cha-Cha, the lifeless body of Charlie.
Cha-Cha just out on his feet. AJ Francis has a hold of him.
Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Enough
High
is enough.
elevation with that choke slam. Get
Enough
AJ Francis the hell out of there.
Once again, Dan, just as it looked like Cha-Cha Charlie was on the cusp of regaining his CCW Heavyweight Championship, AJ Francis inserts himself into the main event here in Hialeah.
I mean, what a turn of events here tonight. I cannot believe the chaos. It's unbelievable. My lost
As Cha-Cha Charlie receiving some medical attention, the ring is filled with trash, just like Ariel Levy, and now AJ Francis. After that turn of events, Levy's still your CCW Heavyweight Champion. We do have some new champions here tonight, as of course Jay Vidal, your brand new Cruiserweight Champion, and of course Alex Chamberlain winning the Southeastern Championship from Jackal Stevens. Folks, as we head towards September 3rd, Bash in the Brew 20, everything's got flipped, turned upside down here in CCW. It's going to be a crazy month of events from Homestead to Kissimmee to Pompano Beach, then right back here on September 3rd for Bash in the Brew 20. For Lisa Almeida, for Dan Evans, I'm Blake Chaddock. We will see you on September 3rd right back here for Bash in the Brew 20. Good night, everyone.